Hello, I'm going to show you how to do a basic bind off using ewrap for a flat panel. I'm currently working on the brim for my cable brim slouchy hat, but this method works great for any type of flat panel bind off. I have cast on pegs 1 through 10 for this brim. It works though for despite however many pegs you already have had cast on. The first step is that you're going to ewrap. Let's see. You're going to ewrap the last 2 pegs in your row. In this case, it's peg 10 and 9. Bringing the bottom loop over the top. You're then going to move peg 9 to the top of peg 10. And you want to keep your stitches very loose. And you're going to bring the stitch that was on peg 10 up over the top. Then you're going to move the stitch from peg 10 to the empty peg on peg 9. The next step is to ewrap peg 8. And then you're going to do the same thing as you did before. You're moving peg 8 over to peg, or stitch on peg 8 to peg 9. Bringing the stitch over. Taking this current stitch that was on peg 9, moving it to peg, the empty peg that was next to it. And then you keep doing the same thing, ewrapping the next peg. After you've done ewrapping it, moving it over to the peg before, bringing the bottom up over the top, moving this peg this stitch over to the next empty peg. As you can see, we're starting to get a nice braided look on the edge for your bind off. Ewrap the next, bring over, move it to the peg over, oops, knit over, bring this one over to the empty peg, ewrap the next peg, bring it over to the peg that we had worked prior, knitting over, ewrapping the next peg, bringing it over, knitting over. After we've done that, bring it to the empty peg that was created, ewrapping this next peg in the sequence. After you've done ewrapping it, moving it over to the peg before, bringing the top over to the bottom, or bottom over the top, moving the empty stitch to the empty peg, ewrapping the next peg, and it's just the same repeat. It doesn't matter how many pegs you have to bind off. You keep doing that same thing. In this case, we're working on 10 pegs, but if you have more, you would just keep going until only one loop remains. Right now we have two, so I'm going to E-wrap the last stitch, bring it over, knit over. Now that we have one stitch remaining, we're going to E-wrap the last stitch again. Bringing the bottom over the top. And then we're going to cut our working yarn. In this case, I'm leaving a long tail because I'm going to probably use this to seam together the brim. So I'm going to leave, I don't know, about 6 inches or so. But you can leave less or more depending on what your pattern is calling for. If you're just doing a flat panel, you can do it shorter and then just weave in. So once you have your working yarn cut, you want to pull your working yarn up through the bottom of the last stitch that's on. So it's coming, your working yarn is here, and you're just gonna, it's like you're doing a purl, but you're not. You're just pulling the yarn through, pull the entire tail through so that you have your tail end, and now you can remove it from the loom and pull your yarn tight. And there you have your basic bind off, which matches very good with your chain cast on, as you can see here. So if you had a flat panel scarf, doing a chain cast off and then a basic bind off would be a great way to have very nice matching edges. So that's how you do a basic bind off on a flat panel. If you were just going to be doing this like as a scarf or a blanket, you'd then weave in the tail and secure the ends. But I'm going to leave the tail because I'm going to be placing this back on my loom. I'm working with my Green Nifty Knitter loom. I'm going to be placing this back on my loom and making my cable brim slouch hat, which you can see here. And I will show you. So that is the basic bind off. I hope that helps. Thanks for joining me.